Hey there, Tolkien fanatics. So I'm bringing you a old school battle report, one that Dan, Joe, and I used to do before we got really into it. We're actually recording this big, full out on the LOTRSBG team page. So go check it out for the full battle report. But this is going to kind of be a turn-by-turn summary of how we're playing. So I'm playing 800 points of Fiefdoms. We're going to be playing on this lovely Mordor board here, brought to us by Cy Crocker. He sold me this board. From the Fayetteville group, Veterans of Helm's Deep. They're a great group of guys. If you're in the Fayetteville area, Fort Bragg, go check them out. They're fun to game with. They do weekly game nights every Thursday, and they're cool. So they're just cool to hang out with. And then this is Joe's much better army than mine, but he's going to be playing with the legendary Legion of Theoden's Riders. Naturally, his favorite and also his best. So we're getting back into the tournament scene, trying to break out some rust and go from there. As you can see, this token in the middle, we will be playing Seize the Prize. We randomly rolled for it on the 18 scenarios in the match play guide. Since we're both playing good, we also rolled to see who would be good, who would be evil. So I will be rolling good. I will be taking roll-offs on the high. And then we've made our little custom token for priority. I will be the White Tree of Minas Tirith, as I am technically part of Gondor being the Fiefdoms. And Joe will be Rohan. So, yeah, guys, like I said, go check out the LOTRSBG team YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, you definitely should be. We got a lot better content over there than I have on my crappy little channel here. I will make sure to leave a link for the video once they get it posted in the comment section below. So, stay tuned. We'll be back with turn 1, priority, movement, and all that deployment jazz. Hey, Tolkien fanatics. So here we are. We're back. We have deployed. As you can see over here, my Fiefdoms are just lined up in a very nice long line. I have Dune here in the middle there looking to maybe get some shots. Zoom out up the middle rank as he charges in with his horsey boys. I did win the roll-off to pick board edges, so I did pick this side over here. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe not. I was hoping maybe with this hut kind of breaking up his horsey charge line, make it a little harder. I do like the fact that we decided to go ahead and put this piece in the middle, so it is going to break up movement a little bit. We are playing this middle piece, other than this open gateway, as rocky terrain. So we are going to be kind of choke pointing ourselves here and this larger section here. So is that going to be good? Is that going to be bad? I'm not really sure. That could be a detriment for the Horse Lords since they have their bigger bases. But we do have Joe's army over here and is well deployed. He has the majority of his force on this side, as you can see, going 3 deep. Yeah, broken horse right there. Poor Joe. A lot of his cavalry, for his heavy cavalry, is definitely on the right flank, which is going to be a little bit harder on me. But I do have Immerhill over there in the back getting ready to come up the middle himself. So we'll see how it goes. We're getting ready to go into turn 1, and then after that, we'll come back and talk a recap. Okay, fanatics, we're back. So turn 1 is in the books. You can see that I moved up here on the left flank pretty well. Well, both my flanks, if I'm facing from this direction. I'm kind of looking at the table from left to right now. My archers stood fast. Joe called a heroic march over here with Theoden and moved up in an attempt to try and grab this objective. This Royal Guard back here did dismount and failed. This Rider of Rohan was actually shot off during shooting. I did a heroic shoot with Dune here's special ability, and unfortunately I will say that the special ability for shooting with Dune here and the Black Reveal Archers can be very hit or miss. There's been games where it's done a lot of damage, and there's been games where it does very little. This was a game where so far it has done very little. The only thing I did was take that Rider of Rohan off his horse. So unfortunately that's all I did. Joe popped a few shots over here with these 8 guys, but for the most part they all missed, and the one that did hit did no damage. So we are into turn 2. Joe won priority. I have called a heroic movement with Forlong there. He has countered with Elfhelm, who's right there. Yep. And we will see what happens. So stay tuned. We're coming back with turn 2 at the end for a summary. And like I said at the beginning, if you want to see the full action, go check out the full video on the LOTRSBG team page. We'll be back. Alright, fanatics, so here we are. We are actually in the process of turn 3, because I forgot about doing this recap. But last turn was actually really big, so I was able to charge up over here with some guys, got a heroic combat off in this area with my captain, and was able to charge this center area and pretty much do a little mop-up duty. But before that, all these rangers here did their shooting thing when they were stationed here, and were able to shoot through 2 in the ways and kill the Royal Guard that had walked up and had taken the objective. So this turn, I've walked up with my guy and picked it up. The shooting was much better. I killed a Royal Guard outright, and then I killed the one holding the objective, so that's great. Combats went pretty well. I botched one majorly against a heroic defense. What was it, Elfhelm?
Yep.
He rolled 2 1s. I was like, great, but I had 2 clansmen in there, so they rolled 2 2s, go down to 1s, bannered one of them to a 1, and then he won the roll off and killed one. So, you know, that's just how my dice rolling goes. But here we are. Next turn, we had a slew of heroic movements. Joe has charged up over here pretty well with Aomer. Kind of forced this gap, backed off a little bit, so he's holding this gap. Like I showed, I do have the objective now with this man-at-arms, and I have my captain who is seriously outnumbered against Darwine, a foot Royal Guard and a mounted Royal Guard, Imrahil and a Knight of Dol Amroth and a couple other guys, or was it just that one man-at-arms, are fighting Elfhelm. And then I have this one poor clansman over here. And then I am very vastly outnumbered on this flank, but I kind of want to keep him from flanking me. So we've done movements. Joe has a few shots here. He's going to try and do a couple sneaky shots into this clansman. And then...
Into this man-at-arms.
I'm sorry, man-at-arms. My man-at-arms with the objective. And we'll see. So I'll be back after we do that and some combats, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so end of the turn, a lot of combats went down, and a lot of the fiefdoms, my guys, took a lot of damage. I'm looking at double digits in the dead pile and then some now, pretty bad. He did call death this turn, even only having 3 heroes in combat. That's Theoden. Darwine here called a strike, Aomer called a combat, and Durnhelm over there called a combat as well. Where's Durnhelm at? Durnhelm's right there, yeah. So Theoden is in a perfect position to get that 12-inch range to get these guys. Elfhelm could not benefit from it because he's on horse. He is no longer on horse. So Imrahil, this knight in the men-at-arms, actually killed him. He did use his last point of might to do a heroic defense, and it was a good one. I kind of wish I'd actually called a heroic combat there, because the knight and the men-at-arms dealt the killing blows. They got 2 6s, and a failed fate made him dead. Over here, I had to burn another point of might with Forlong, even though having 3, 4, 5, 6, and a banner reroll, I failed to produce a single 6. And he's shielded and got a 6. So I could have ignored it, maybe, but I felt like I just needed to get that guy out of there and kill him. I didn't like having to do it in my back rank. Maybe that was a mistake, spending that point of might. We'll see. Over here, a lot of death and destruction. A lot of guys dead, unfortunately. I'm only down to like these 2 dudes. So Joe has pulled that flank, and over here, he's done the same thing. I was able to kill 1 warrior rider, but he killed 4 of my own guys, so it was definitely not an even trade-off in deaths. So we are moving into turn 4 now, I believe. I have 1 priority yet again. Joe has called, lucky me, Joe has called a heroic movement with Theoden over here, and I am countering with Imrahil's first point of might. So we will have a roll-off for that and go from there. So stay tuned for the end and the recap. Okay, so here we are, guys. We are at the end of turn, I believe that was 4. When was turn 4? So we're getting ready to start turn 5. It was actually a very even turn kill-wise. There was a couple heroic strikes here between Darwine and Imrahil. Imrahil won the strike off, won the fight, took 2 dice to get a wound on the horse of Darwine. Unfortunately, Darwine's horse lord failed the fate point. Did roll high enough not to be trapped. And then my last dice roll did not wound him, so Darwine is just sitting there pretty, getting ready to charge. Over here, it was pretty much I killed 1 guy, and then we just kind of traded off, backing away for the rest of the turn. Over here was the surprise. These two guys I expected to get, destroyed. This guy actually had a heroic combat against Durnhelm. Won, did a wound to the horse, which was faded out by Mary. This guy won the fight and killed a rider. So, interesting turn. I lost 2 guys. He lost 2 guys. My captain over here was able to win the fight with the support of the men-at-arms and stand back up. And now we are getting ready to go into turn 5. I did win priority again. Not going to lie, this is probably the most amount of priorities I've ever won in a game. And Joe did use his last point of might with Theoden over here to call a heroic movement. I'm not countering. We'll see what happens. And again, if you want to see the full version of this LTR SBG team on YouTube, I will leave a link in the description below. Alright guys, so that was a big turn of combats. I think I almost broke Joe in that turn. I was able to hand off the objective as well to Forlong here, and really at this point there was almost no way for Joe to get to it, so we have agreed gentlemanly to go ahead to concede and have Fiefdoms take the victory. We're not going to worry about victory points. It's just a situation where I still have might on the board, so I could just bubble wrap Forlong the rest of the way, take out any guys in the way with Imrahil still having might, as so did Angbor. So yeah, it was a good game. It was a tough game. Fiefdoms was able to somehow get this choke point and take it and hold it. And yeah, so thanks guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and again, check out the full unabridged version on the LTR SBG team page. Take care.